Hey, this video is for Dan. I was just doing a video update, kind of showing you the font and the coloring that I think you had wanted that we talked about. So I have two examples. This is basically option number 1, and then this is option number 2. I'm thinking you want to go with something like this, just from your description. So let me just go over it with you really quick. So basically, you can see this. This is acrylic dye, acrylic paint. I'm sorry. That is made especially for leather, and what I ended up doing is after I stamped it out, I went over it and painted it all white. And initially it's a really bright white. And I don't know if you can tell because the lighting is kind of dim. I am outside, so if you hear any noises, that's what's going on. But initially it's really bright white when you first paint it on, and then I apply a resist to this so that it basically it stays relatively white. And after I resisted it, I put a black dye over the top and then just wipe off only in the letter, only where the white should be. So what it does, and I don't know if you can see this or not, is it kind of fills in the black just in the right spots, and a little cracks and just a little black shading here and there. And basically, this is kind of the bone effect you were talking about. At least I think you mentioned kind of wanting to have like a looking like a bone. So it kind of has that effect. I don't know if you're okay with that. This is a rough test piece, of course. I went fresh on it, and like this is all unfinished, leather. But I can see there's spots where I do need to touch up, or that I will do more, delicately and detailed. But anyway, so this is kind of what I'm thinking as far as the effect goes. Black against the white. But I didn't make option 2. Ignore this. This is kind of a version of the original that I was doing here. So this is the P and the horse, and basically the same idea, except instead of putting white acrylic paint on it, this is the natural tan of the leather. And I stamped it and I put a resist on it, and then I went over it with a black dye to kind of give it those dark spots to fill in the black lines over here and here, so it's not all very neutral, so it really fills in the lines, I guess. So same effect though, is kind of gives that bone, that shadow detail that bones have. This is more tan though than the white than this one. So it's kind of what I'm thinking that you want. Let me know. I did have one more question. Well, I have the belt strip cut ready to go. On the part where the belt attaches, I wasn't sure what kind of like if this was the belt. There's usually a slit right here, and then usually like a rivet or it's called a Chicago screw, basically unscrew so you can change out the buckle. I didn't know what kind of buckle you were going to use. If you're going to use a traditional style buckle that basically has that little tongue and that goes out, or if you're going to use more of a something like this. This is the a leather blank that you can tool onto, and you can just basically But if you're going to use something like this on the back where there's no tongue, it's just the belt connects to this part right here. And all you need then. Oh, I didn't cut this to size, but maybe I did. All you need then is just the Chicago screw holding it down. You don't need the slit in here. It doesn't matter if I have the slit. It is a stronger piece of leather if there's less holes and cuts in it. So if you're planning on using it with a buckle like this, or something like this, same idea. This is a leather blank that you would basically stitch on. But on something that was designed like this, then I would probably not want to cut the slit here for the tongue. If you are, however, using, and what I mean by that is, this spot right, this part of the buckle right here. If you're using this style, you don't need that cut out. But if you want to interchange between regular buckles and these kind of buckles, I'll just go ahead and put the slit there. And then the only other question is how big you want the holes punched, because if you use, for example, this style, you can see that the holes are actually don't need to be as big when they go through, to catch onto and secure your belt. Whereas on something like this, well, this is a small buckle because it's my watch, but some of the buckles for these can be really really hefty, really large in diameter. So if you have just a rough approximation of the size of hole you might want, possibly in millimeters or even in inches, let me know. I kind of have a middle ground, but it's always a better fit if I can get an idea of what kind of buckle you want to use it with. Anyway, let me know about the buckle piece and about whether you want that slit cut out, because you're going to be using a buckle with a tongue on it, or if you're going to be using one of these styles. And then let me know what you think about this this white on black with a black kind of overlay over the top. And I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but there's little spots of dark with a dye. When I put it over, it just kind of settled in within some of the bumps, and it really gives it more of that bone look that you had talked about. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'm basically ready to tool it out and punch the holes and kind of tool it out in the middle of that. And I will, of course, send you more pictures or videos as I go along. Thanks, bye.